So this might be your last chance to get something at a very, very good price in the market.
Yeah, there's 1 km to a really excellent school and surrounded by a landed enclave. I think quite hard to find lah. Because the last plot, that was like also below 1,000, but I think that's it already. Like no more after that. Hi everyone, I'm Shanice.
Hi everyone, I'm Joyce.
And today we'll be talking about Faber Residence. So where exactly is Faber Residence? It's actually located in Clementi's landed enclave and it will be 1 km to Nanhua Primary.
So let's talk more about what Faber Residence really is. It's a joint venture helmed by GuocoLand.
Yeah.
Land size is about 277,000 square feet. It has 399 units across 5 stories, making it one of the lowest density condos in the last 10 years in the area here. Unit mix is between 2 to 5 bedrooms. Really, really good for like families, big families that are looking to purchase for own stay.
Yeah, and actually what is surprising is that actually the 5 bedrooms only make up 5% of the total unit mix. So I think this is going to be really interesting and exciting for anyone looking to invest because it's going to be really, really low supply in the resale market in the future. I mean, just now I mentioned that it's tucked away in the Faber landed enclave, 1 km to Nanhua Primary for all you kiasu parents out there. Nanhua Primary is super hard to get into, but mainly because it's one of the top GEP and SAP schools in Singapore. So I think this is a school that actually creates a lot of natural demand from all parts of Singapore would want to move to the area to be 1 km to Nanhua Primary. Unfortunately, there's no MRT at your doorstep, but we'll touch on this later to show you how it can also be profitable to buy into projects that are not near MRT because that's not all that matters.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting. The developer bought the land at about $900 PSF PPR, which is very, very similar to what was bidded for at Springleaf Residence.
Yeah.
And based on what Springleaf has achieved on its first day of launch, it was sold at about 94%.
Yes,
on launch day.
94% was sold. And it launched at about average of 2175 PSF at Springleaf, which is an area with nothing but MRT, right? I have to agree. But Faber, 900 PPR, I think the expected pricing will be like what, 2,100 or 2,300 PSF. And I think the real interesting point that we also want to highlight is that the resale condos in this area are already transacting at higher than that, which is like 2,300 to 2,700 PSF even. So Faber residence buyers, right, in the market are actually going to be buying in at below the resale acceptance price, which is what we commonly call like a safe entry point. Exactly. Because it's really, really quite attractive. And I think based on what we see in the market today, everybody's looking for a good bargain, a good deal. And that's why Springleaf did so well. So for Faber, I think super low density living in an area that's 1 km to an excellent school, a really, really popular school, I think it's going to have pretty strong launch day performance as well. So
one more thing to note and to add on to what Shanice has shared, moving forward, I think it's quite hard for us to see developers bidding for land below $1,000 PSF PPR.
Yeah.
So this might be your last chance to get something at a very, very good price in the market.
Yeah, there's 1 km to a really excellent school and surrounded by a landed enclave. I think quite hard to find lah. Because the other one that I can think of would be the one at Lentor. The last plot, that was like also below 1,000, but I think that's it already. Like no more after that. So really interesting point to bring up. Okay, so what I really like about Guoco developments that I think will be present in this development because it's pretty big and they have a nice size plot to work with is that Guoco is very famous for their signature open lawns as well as for this development unblocked landed views, and you also have the added advantage of a park connector by the river that is accessible easily by Faber Residence. So if you are a family looking for more lifestyle living, you know, you like to go for walks, you like to bring your children out for jogs, you know, to maybe walk the dog, you know, I think this will be something that's really exciting for people who are looking at something in the Clementi area, which is less dense, I feel, because the other developments in the area, you know, they're more cluttered with other condos surrounding it. Like you have your Park Clementi's. These are more surrounded by like the MRTs and stuff like that. So it's more packed lah. So there's more people. Faber, because you're in a landed enclave, you're likely going to have a less dense kind of living. So lifestyle-wise, I think it will also appeal to quite a lot of families who enjoy this kind of lifestyle lah. So who is Faber Residence exactly for? I think I want to talk about who it's not for first. Basically, anyone who wants to have MRT at your doorstep, this is not for you. Anyone who also wants high floor units that has amazing sea views, also not for you. And people who also want mega condos with massive number of facilities, unfortunately, this is also not the project for you.
So who is Faber Residence really for? I think it's perfect for HDB upgraders. If we look in the vicinity itself, Clementi HDB flats have been averaging around 1.1 million and it has hit prices up to like 1.45 million.
Yeah.
We would expect a lot of HDB upgraders from other areas as well coming into the area just for Nanhua Primary School. Yeah, we all know how kiasu Singaporean parents are, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And I think that's also interesting to know that, because if you want to know how many people will possibly buy this unit from you in the resale market in the future, we're very happy to share with you our data that we have pulled out for the upcoming BTO supply in the next few years. So just drop us a DM and we'll be very, very happy to share that with you, because this will be interesting information for you to know. This is basically your exit strategy, right? What about investors?
Investors-wise, I would say I would reference it quite closely to Springleaf Residence in terms of the sale point, because the land bid for this project and Springleaf is really quite similar.
So like below 1.5 mil for
exactly.
2 bed.
Yeah, so I would expect 2-bedroom prices to average around 1.5 million, which I think is a very, very sweet spot for a lot of investors out there. Tenants-wise, we can see them coming from Jurong East, CBD and Science Park, NUS tenants.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's going to be an issue when it comes to renting out.
I think also for parents who don't want to buy in the area because they're not guaranteed of the Nanhua yet based on the stats, right? They might also form a pool of your tenants that will want to rent and see whether they get in, then extend the rental or possibly buy a place here. So this will be, I think, another group of tenants that you can bank on. Families, what do you think about families?
Families, I would think that they will really pay the premiums just for this. Again, it goes back to the school, right?
Yeah.
I think like for really it's down to the kiasu parents.
They will pay like nice premiums for this in the resale market. And I think what I like about Guoco is that they are very focused on making sure that their units are livable for own stay buyers. So they don't do like tiny bedrooms, which is very, very important in the resale market, right? Because if you're a family, you don't want your kids to be squeezing into like a room that's too small and not conducive for whether it's studying or just having good rest. So I think families who also are looking for a little bit more lifestyle, which we mentioned earlier, would also form a part of this.
But sorry, to add on, I don't think like the units itself or like the resale itself is limited to parents that just want to register their kids. But a lot of these people that live in the vicinity, if they are priced out from the more central location in the west side, then I think this is area that offers very good value proposition.
Yeah, because you're still in Clementi, but you're not paying that central Clementi price because I mean obviously you're not near the MRT, not really near the MRT. 一分钱一分货 also, right? I mean this one still has 1 km to Nanhua, so it's really, really good. But I mean you're not walking distance to the MRT, but you also save money on that, which is I think pretty good value, right? I think luxury right sizes also might form a group of buyers because the landed owners in this area are sitting on like I don't know what $5 to $6 million like home prices, right? If they ever downsize one day, usually they don't downsize to like a 2-bedder, even 3-bedder sometimes is a little bit of like a squeeze for them. They might downsize to like a 4-bedder in this area, and I think next time that would be a group of buyers also that will come into the market that will buy from you in terms of resale, because they don't like to rent anyway. So yeah, I think this is not like a mass market type of shoebox development that you're expecting to make a quick flip, in my opinion. If you're looking at the smaller units, but if you're looking for the bigger units, a lot of families, upgraders, people like that will come into the market to buy from you as a resale buyer. Okay, so time to bust some myths. Some things that I've heard from buyers out there. So first one is, not near MRT, can make money or not? I think this one, to answer this question, I have a lot of examples, but I think the most relevant example in recent years will probably be Treasure at Tampines, also in the OCR, also not very near to the MRT, and also low rise with very limited views, in fact, right? Because all the blocks, there's quite a number of blocks. In fact, there are many number of blocks, but still extremely profitable, right? We can see the numbers over here. So why exactly is it so profitable? Because the entry price was correct. I think this is also the main thing about Faber Residence. You have to enter at the correct entry price. If you enter too high, then unfortunately, most of the things that we said above might not apply to you. Okay, so that's why we are important, and that's why we are here to actually help you decide which is the best unit to buy, right? Which gives you decent views, right? Might not be the best view, but decent views at a very good entry price to ensure that you gain nice profits like Treasure at Tampines. I think the other thing that people also mention is, wow, so low rise, confirm no views. The difference between Faber and, for example, Treasure at Tampines, right, is that because you are actually near the landed enclave and because you're actually near the river, some of the units will get unblocked landed and river views. So we just have to be very, very careful with our unit selection. So I keep repeating this because unit selection is always the hardest part about buying. It's very easy to buy. You go to a show flat, give a check, and then you just select your unit, but you must be very, very careful how you're picking, as well as what price to walk away from. How are comparisons with the resale? I heard people complain about that also.
If we compare to Park Clementi's or Whistler Grand itself, right? These projects are already transacting between 2,300 to 2,700 per square foot.
Yeah.
And then they have already run down their leases quite a bit.
Yeah.
So if we look at the Faber Residence price, right?
Yeah.
We are expecting it to launch about 2,002 thereabouts. I would say that you have a very, very safe entry price compared to what is already accepted in the resale market.
Yeah, and I guess the truth is because if you don't want to spend so much to buy in the center of Clementi and you buy like surrounding Clementi, we also see quite a lot of projects that have benefited from this, where people don't buy in the center. For example, you don't buy in the CCR, but you buy like really at City Fringe, and you enjoy all the benefits that the central Clementi has without paying the premium for it. So I think it's very important, right, to understand this. But of course, it doesn't apply to all developments, but we actually think that for Faber, that might be a lifestyle aspect to it, as well as the fact that because it's a good developer. So good developers, good layouts, good facilities, good amenities. I think these are some strengths that would actually target the right buyer in the resale market today. So here's the bottom line. Who exactly is Faber Residence for? You need to be very sure what you're buying into. Today, what you'll be buying into when you buy Faber Residence is 900 PPR land cost, which is the lowest entry price in Clementi in years, an average of 2,200 PSF, which is way below the resale acceptance in this area, 399 units where it's going to be spread out into a very resort style space, which gives you exclusivity as well as landed views. You're going to be 1 km to Nanhua Primary and also beside the Jurong CBD transformation. And I think what is the most important to me is the way that GuocoLand actually sells their projects. They have a very proven sell-out track record and very strong launch day performance because of the way that they do their pricing. This project might not be for everyone, but if you are a family or an upgrader or someone who is looking for a product that is good value in the market, I believe that GuocoLand's pricing strategies will actually appeal to you because this could be your last chance to buy into something such good value in Clementi in 2025.
So for this project, the preview will be on the 3rd of October and the launch date will be on 18th of October.
Same as Penreef.
So if you need help in selection
Selecting
of stacks, layout and whatsoever, as well as the price to walk away from, please feel free to reach out to us and we'll be happy to show you the show flat.
Thank you for watching this video today. Bye-bye!